Hey, welcome. Glad to have you here today. The practice I have to share with you in this video is for sciatica, sciatica caused by a tight piriformis. There can be multiple causes of sciatic pain, some of them having to do with things that are happening in your low back, your lumbar spine, things like herniated discs or a bulging disc, right? Or it could be due to the piriformis muscle. Piriformis muscle is a small muscle that attaches from the low back, moves through the buttocks and attaches to the head of the femur. Right? And when it gets overused or tight, or should the sciatic nerve pass directly through it, which happens in some people, it can then cause some nerve pain and give you those sciatic symptoms. So the short practice I have for you here is to help relieve some of that sciatic pain. So we're going to work to stretch the sciatic, or excuse me, stretch the piriformis, as well as bring some circulation. What you'll need is a blanket. It's going to be handy for a little support underneath your head, and a yoga strap. But if you don't have a yoga strap, I recommend you use maybe the tie to your bathrobe can work really well. So we're going to start on our back, and I'm going to start with my blanket underneath my head. So I'm going to come to my side, come to lay down, and settle in. Use the right. And start by settling your back in, relaxing through your hips and low back. And we'll begin first with Apanasana pose, so known as wind relieving pose or knee to chest. I'm going to start with my right leg. So on an exhale, I'm going to bring my right thigh towards my chest. I'll bring both hands around the front of the shin. The foot can stay relaxed here. And as I inhale, I'm going to let the thigh float away, the elbows will straighten, and then exhale, draw the thigh in towards the chest, elbows bend. We'll do that a couple of times. Move at a pace that's comfortable for you and in line with your breath. It's okay if you're moving more quickly or more slowly than I am. And so this allows us to stretch and warm up and bring some circulation around the piriformis on this side of the pelvis. Do that one more time. So you do this 4 to 6 times. And the next time you bring the thigh towards your chest, let's keep it here. Keep breathing smoothly. As you hold here, you might choose to circle your ankle a little. Make sure you circle in both directions. And then come to stillness, maybe draw that thigh in a little closer. And then to release, take a breath in, release your hands, allow foot come to the floor, and take a moment here, noticing any differences from right to left. Let's move to the second side. So on an exhale, drawing left thigh in, hands interlace around the front of the shin. We're going to inhale, allow the thigh to float slightly away, and then exhale, bend the elbows, draw the thigh in. Keep moving, inhale, exhale, thigh comes closer. 2 more, inhale, and exhale, inhale, and exhale. This time, let's hold the knee towards the chest. Keep breathing as you hold. If you'd like to take ankle circles, again, you're welcome to do that. Circle the other way, just a couple of times in each direction. And then bring your foot to stillness. Maybe draw the thigh in a little closer. And then release and bring your hands to the floor. And take a moment here. And our next pose is a rolling bridge. So I'm going to move the blanket out of the way, slide it off to the side. So we will be bringing more pressure onto the back of the head and the back of the shoulders. And we don't want to have something pressing into our neck that might cause discomfort in the cervical spine. So I'm going to walk my feet in just a tiny bit closer. You want it to be a place that's comfortable for your knees. Feet are about hip distance apart. And you'll keep your gaze at the ceiling for this one. I'm going to be lifting and lowering the hips. So take a breath in here. And then as you exhale, imagine you're putting on a pair of tight jeans. Draw up from the pelvic floor, up through the pubic bone, low belly, upper belly, all the way up to the ribs as you lift the hips up towards the sky. When you reach that maximum lift, pause here, take a breath in, and then engaging from the top of the belly, right? Same tight jean idea, lowering down one vertebra at a time so your tailbone comes back down to the floor. Good. Inhale here, and exhale once again engaging the core, right? Lifting up. Inhale, pause here, and then exhale, slowly lower down like your spine was a pearl necklace and you were setting it bead by bead down on the floor. Good. Inhale here. Let's do one more time. Exhale, engaging that core from the pubic bone all the way up towards the low ribs, lifting the hips. This time, let's stay here. So as you inhale, the hips might lift a little higher. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lift. Exhale, soften. One more breath. Inhale, lift. And then as you exhale, engage those core muscles. Slowly roll down, nice and controlled. When your tailbone reaches the floor, you can widen your feet a little bit and windshield your knees side to side. You're welcome to stay in that lifted bridge longer than 3 breaths. But 3 is a good place to start. And then bring your knees to stillness. Walk your feet back into that hip distance. Right, heels as close to your buttocks as you can comfortably bring them. And now we'll move into our next pose, which is a reverse and lateral pigeon. This is wonderful for stretching the piriformis in several different ways. So for this pose, you're going to bring your right thigh in, extend the leg up to the sky, and then bend the knee so the ankle rests on the opposite thigh. And I'm going to bring my right hand to the right thigh and gently press it away and release. Do that a couple more times. Press away and release. Press away and release. Now this may feel like enough of a stretch for you, and if you're in a lot of pain, this may be as far as you want to go today. Right? But if you're feeling like not feeling too much in that right buttocks, you can take it to the next stage, which is to bring your left thigh towards your chest and interlace your hands around the back. Right? You'll notice my right hand's going underneath my right shin so I can interlace. I'm going to put my right elbow towards and into that right thigh so I can press it away. And I'm going to keep both feet flexed here. That will help to engage the muscles around the knees so that they don't hurt. Keep both legs engaged. And sometimes once I get here, I find a little movement is helpful. So I'm going to use my hands to begin to circle that left side just a little bit. One direction. And then go the other direction. This is, of course, optional. And then come to stillness, and you can feel that deep stretch into the buttocks. We're getting into the piriformis. A lot of times chiropractors or physical therapists will invite you to do this. They actually call it the piriformis stretch. One more breath here. Try to keep the neck long, chin tucked. And then you're going to release your hands, release the left foot to the floor, but leave the right leg right where it is. Because now we're going to shift the whole pelvis to the left so that the foot comes to the floor. I'm going to reach down with my left hand and grab that ankle. And my right arm can either go straight out from my shoulder or up at a diagonal. I'm going to use my left hand now to draw that right ankle a little higher towards my shoulder. And then using the muscles of my thigh, press the right knee away. Right. Big stretch, you're going to feel this. This is one of those intense stretches, so make sure that you're taking nice, smooth, even breaths, not holding your breath. We're going to stay here for another 2 breaths, but if you need to come out sooner, please do what's best for you and for your body today. And then to come out of the pose, I'm going to release both arms, want to rock my hips back to center. I'll extend right leg to the ceiling and then slowly lower it down. You can stretch the other leg long, turn your palms up, come into a mini Shavasana here. And close your eyes, take a couple of breaths. Notice what's happening. And then let's go to the other side now. So I'm going to slide my feet in one at a time. A little less strain for the low back by doing that. Palms turn down. I'm going to bring my left thigh into my chest, extend the leg up to the ceiling, and then now bring the ankle across the right knee. And my left hand will go to my right thigh. I'm just going to do that. Press away and release. Press it away and release. Press it away and release. You're welcome to stay here or move into the next stage, which is to bring the right thigh in, hands interlace around the back of the right thigh. Left elbow will press into this left knee. If you did it on the other side, I encourage you to take those little circles. So using your hands to circle the right thigh, you'll feel it into the left glutes. Make sure you circle both directions. It doesn't always feel the same when you do one. And then find a place of stillness. Noticing I'm trying to keep my neck long, periodically checking and tucking my chin. Make sure that I'm not lifting my chin up to the sky, putting undue pressure on the cervical muscles. Take one more breath here. And then release your hands, foot comes to the floor. We're going to take that same rock to come into the lateral pigeon. So now the foot comes to the right side. My right hand will reach down and grab the ankle. My left arm can go straight up from my shoulder or up at the angle. I'm going to keep drawing my ankle towards my shoulder as I use the muscles of my thigh to press my knee away. That's going to help get deep into that piriformis. You can see how we're stretching that muscle as it moves from the buttocks across. And this can help to relieve that sciatic pain. If it worsens it, do come out. Don't stay. And take one more breath here. You're welcome to stay longer, but for today's purposes, we're going to come out of the pose. So I'm going to release my hands, rock back to center, extend the left leg up to the sky and lower it down. And then extend the opposite leg. Palms can turn upward. Take that moment of Shavasana, of resting, of noticing. And now let's roll over onto our belly. We're going to come into a variation of locust. And for this one, let's keep our hands right here next to our chest. Forehead's going to come to the floor, or even better yet, bring your left cheek to the floor. Legs will come together so that the big toes touch, right, but the toenails are pressed into the floor. And we're going to use the breath to lift the chest and lift just one leg. So let's start with the right leg. So on an inhale, lifting from the nape of your neck, lift your head, shoulders, and chest as you lift your right leg. And then as you exhale, lower your right cheek to the floor as the right leg comes down. We'll do this side now. So inhale, lifting head, neck, and shoulders and left leg. And then exhale, lowering down. We're not staying too long. We're going to lift and lower. Let's do that again on this side. So inhale, right leg lift. Neck is long, gaze is towards the mat. Exhale, lower, opposite cheek to the floor. You're certainly welcome to just bring your forehead to the floor and to the left side again. And lowering down. You're welcome to do that on each leg again, or if you'd like, you can lift both legs. So as you inhale, lifting the head, lifting both legs up, and exhaling, lowering. This time I'm going to lower my forehead to the floor, but you could lower your cheek and do that again. Inhale, lifting and lengthening. So it helps to strengthen down the low back. And exhale, lower. This time, bring your arms into pillow, rest one cheek on your arm. Widen your legs, shift your hips side to side to relieve any tension in the low back. You can see how that would bring some circulation and some strength there to the piriformis, really with the lifting of the individual legs. And then as you're ready, roll onto your back again. And you may want to grab your blanket for underneath your head. So please do that. And also grab your strap or your tie. All right, so take a moment to settle your back here. And then bending your right thigh in, bring your belt around the ball of the right foot and extend that leg to the ceiling. I'm holding the strap in each hand. I'm not gripping it tightly. I'm not pulling, right? I'm using it to steady the leg, right? Don't worry about whether your foot is directly perpendicular to your body and to the ceiling. Could be that if you have tight hamstrings, in order to straighten your knee, you need to let it move away a significant amount. So find that place where you can have the knee straight without being locked, right? But bring that stretch. And then once you're here, holding the strap lightly in each hand, right? I'm not gripping, my hands are relaxed and loose. I'm going to use my hands, my arms, and the strap to bring some nice circles here. And then circle the other way. And you can choose how large to make these circles, depends on what feels good in your hip joint. And then come to stillness here. You can press your heel towards the ceiling so you get a little more stretch in the back of the leg. If it's okay for your low back, you may slide, right, the opposite leg out. Keep that foot engaged, toes pointed towards the ceiling. I'm going to walk my hands up my strap just a little bit more so I can use the weight of my arms, but I'm still allowing my shoulders to relax towards the floor. I'm not gripping real tight, no white knuckles here. Good. Now for the next part, I'll show you two different variations here. So if you kept your knee bent, right, you would bring the strap into your left hand, right? Right arm can go out in a T directly out from your shoulder. And you'll start to guide the leg across until you still feel some sensation into the glutes, right? So you might only go part way across and you would stay here. The other option, I'll come back to center, is to have the left leg long. And again, you're going to draw the leg across, but this time because you don't have that other knee in the way, you can take it all the way across and to the floor. Now, if your foot doesn't come to the floor, do not despair. Right? You could have a blanket. Sometimes if you do this near a couch or a chair where you can rest your foot, right, that would be very handy. You want to keep the knee straight here. Again, it's not directly perpendicular to the rest of my body, right? So it may be a little further down depending on what's happening and what feels best. Right? But you want to find a place where you feel a nice stretch. We're going to stay here for a few breaths, so try not to hold your breath here. And after 3 or 4 breaths, right, I want you to engage your core. Inhale, come back up to center. You're going to use your hand to help bring the leg up. I suggest you slide the other foot in if it isn't there already. And then you're going to bend this knee, release your belt, bring the foot down to the floor, right, and take a moment here. Good. Let's do the other side. So I'll bend the other knee and bring the strap around the ball of that foot. And then I'm going to stretch it long. Notice I've walked my hands up pretty far, pretty close to my foot. So the arms are lengthened. And then I'm going to relax my shoulders, use the weight of my arms to help with the stretch. And adjust if you need to take that foot away to accommodate hamstrings so the knee can be straight. Start with some circles. They can be tiny or they can be big. I find that small ones work just fine for me. Make sure you go the other direction. Nice. Then come to stillness. Remember, you have a choice of either keeping the right knee bent or sliding it long. Make sure if you've lengthened that right leg out that you're pressing out through both heels. Take one more breath. And then both ends of the belt will come into your right hand. Just going to take the ends across my body. I'll take my left arm out as a nice counterbalance. And I'm going to draw the leg across. So it may only go part way if you have your knee up, or it can go all the way across into a big twist. Notice my hip comes off the floor. You want to keep the knee straight here. Again, adjust the leg as you need to. Support it with blankets, side of the couch, pillows, whatever you have handy. Take a couple of breaths here. And then to come out of the pose, I'm going to use my right hand and I'm going to engage my core. So on an exhale, come back up to center. And I'll bend now the right knee, bend the left knee, remove the strap so that the foot can the floor. I'm going to set my belt off to the side. And then bring both knees into your chest, right? And rock side to side. Or make circles with your knees. That often feels good on the low back. Make sure whichever you choose. If you're circling, you go both ways. And then you're welcome here to stretch your legs out and come into Shavasana, right, for a few minutes to end your practice, or come out of the pose by rolling to your side and up to seated. So I hope that this short practice today helps you with sciatic pain. Feel free to send me a message, let me know how it helps if you have questions, and do look for other videos. This one was for sciatic pain caused by piriformis, but there's another video here on our channel for sciatic pain that might be caused by other lumbar disc issues. So thanks so much for your time and your attention. Sending you love and light. Namaste.